Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to those who are new here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Avery and I'm so excited that you guys are watching this today. Today's video, I thought that I would just kind of do a little sit down and talk about my goals for 2024, as well as like things that my ends, I guess, is what people call them. Every year I just struggle with kind of making resolutions or goals, or there's years where I just don't do it. I feel like 2024 is a year where I just wanted to sit down and write some goals, as well as things that I just want to do within this year, and I wanted to write those down, as well as just kind of make a video about it and just put it out there. So I guess without further ado, we'll just kind of get started. I have this little journal where I just kind of like write things down, but I also just kind of wanted to write like my goals in here and have them on paper and get them out of my head. That way I can just look at them and go over them and just constantly like see what I wrote down for myself. So I kind of broke them down into a couple of categories. First is just kind of like spiritual, as well as physical. Then I have just kind of like some fun things that I want to set for myself, and then a couple that I just was not sure which category to kind of put them in, but that way I can kind of just see them all broken down. And this year I just wanted to write some simple goals I want to challenge myself with, but make them attainable, and things that I can do. That way I'm setting myself up for success this year. And then also just kind of like making my goals just centered around Jesus this year. I just got back from Passion today actually, and I feel like every message that I heard from the amazing speakers that they had were ones that I just really needed to hear, and I definitely do think that that was a God thing, and he knew that I needed to hear those. I came back and just really had a desire to write down some goals and make them centered around Jesus. So without further ado, I don't want to keep this intro super long. I just kind of want to read these to you. We'll just kind of start with my first category, which is kind of like labeled spiritual. But my first goal that I have for 2024 is to intentionally put time aside to read my Bible every day and spend time in the Word of God and just nourish my soul with His Word. That's one of the biggest things that I've just struggled with in past years, but especially 2023. I love going to church, and I love going to Wednesdays and being in groups and all of that, but one of the biggest things that I've just struggled with is when I'm by myself, being in the Bible, and that's one of the biggest things that I want to do. And doing that before I pick my phone up, I've gotten in such a horrible habit of waking up and immediately picking up my phone and scrolling social media and checking all my messages and doing all of that, and I'm just not starting my day with being in His Word. I really want to challenge myself doing that every single day. I know that every day like I'm not going to want to do it, but having discipline and doing it because I know that it's going to be good for me, and have my mind just centered on Him first thing when I wake up. So that's my first goal. My second goal is to write down my prayers and intentionally spend time in prayer. This also is just challenging myself to journal, because I struggle with that, and I've had my mom, my mentor, friends tell me that journaling is just so good for you. So writing down my prayers, that way I can also read them again, but also just kind of structuring my prayers in a specific way. So first, really just starting my prayer off with thanksgiving and just thanking God for everything that He's done in my life, the things that He's brought me through, just kind of like the joys or the little things that I see Him doing in my life. Next is just kind of praying for a specific person, having anywhere from like 2 to 5 people, and it's not going to be in every prayer, but like having a few people that I know that have just kind of been put in my life that I know need Jesus. So praying for them and doing that on a regular basis. There's so much power in prayer, and being able to pray for someone that like either God uses me or God places people in their life to just kind of show them Jesus. And then next is just praying for whatever is going on in my life, whether that's things that I'm struggling with or things that I'm going through. Just praying that the Lord gives me strength and courage to do whatever I'm going through, and then just kind of laying things at His feet, whether that's being anxious and worried about the future, or anything, just again, like whatever personally is going on in my life. I also have praying for my generation to step up as leaders, as well as myself to be able to do that, letting Gen Z be a generation that is living for Jesus and is living unapologetically, sharing the gospel, stepping up, and again, just like being a leader, whether that's through serving in our church or just kind of through anything that we do. That's definitely a prayer that I'm having for myself, is that the Lord just uses me and gives me the courage to step up and be a leader and make a change in anything that I do. But through that all, just showing Jesus. So that's one thing that I've just kind of felt that I want to pray for, as well as praying for like my city, my state, our country, or like any of our leaders, that God just guides them in whatever they do, and that he places people in their life to kind of just help lead them. And then praying for my friends and my family, being intentional with like reaching out and asking for what I can pray for them for, and just keep them in my prayers constantly. And then like confessing anything that I need to God. God knows everything that I do. He knew ahead of time, and it's really just for me to kind of submit to him and lay those at his feet and ask for forgiveness, but also ask for him to just help me walk away from whatever I am struggling with that is not honoring and pleasing to him. And I feel like that's something that I just struggle with a lot. I can be very prideful, and I want to come to him humbly and lay those at his feet, and just write those down. So doing that, and then ending my prayers with thanksgiving again, and just ending it on me reminding myself of what the Lord has done for me in my life and what I see him doing around me. I guess the last goal for this little section is just worshiping Jesus, and evaluating what I listen to. For me, I love music. I love music so much, and I've just kind of learned for me personally that music affects a lot of things, like my mood, how I feel. It affects how I think, and just changes the way that I think about stuff, and most of the time, like, it's not good. And just trying to see like what am I constantly playing in my head, and going through that. I want to go through my music and music that I know is like not honoring to the Lord. I don't want to listen to that anymore. And then just constantly worshiping Jesus. God gave me life, God gave me breath. I just want to use that to honor him in what I'm saying. Words have power, songs have power, and just being intentional, like what am I listening to, what am I playing. But again, like just constantly being in a state of worship where I'm not always thinking about myself, but I'm constantly thinking about Jesus and letting my mind be focused on him. So that's one of the things that I want to do, is just going through like what I listen to, listening to worship music more than I do. Don't get me wrong, I love secular music, like I love listening to a bunch of artists, finding new music, but again, what message am I constantly playing in my head? And if it's not one that's honoring to the Lord, then maybe that's something that I just kind of need to get out of my life. So that's kind of it for this category. I've just really been convicted, and I really want 2024 to just be focused and centered around him in everything that I do. So yeah, these are just kind of some of the goals that I have. So the next category that I have is just kind of like physical goals, like physical health. So my first one for that is just start exercising again. I used to be very active middle school, early high school. I used to run competitively in cross country and track, and I did that from like 6th grade to 10th grade. And really 10th grade, I just kind of decided that it was something that I don't want to do anymore. There was just kind of like a lot of things within that I was just struggling with, and decided to kind of take a break and stop. But with stopping that and not being super active anymore, I'm just not moving my body a lot. I'm learning that like exercising my body just helps with my mental health a lot, and just kind of like helps to keep my mood stable. And so exercising again, whether that's just walking, I started running again with my friends, but we took quite a bit of a break with like injuries and getting sick and holidays and all of that. So just getting back into that. And then cycling, just kind of doing some things that I really loved doing before I stopped running. I would do a bunch of cross training, so walking, running, cycling, maybe doing some weightlifting, that type of thing, just to keep my body healthy. My body is just something that I want to be a good steward of, and again, just take care of and do that. My next goal is to just eat good, nourishing meals. I'm a big snacker. Like, I won't make a lot of meals and I'll just snack most of the time, but I really want to learn how to cook more, and make meals that are just really nourishing to my body, that give me energy and help sustain my energy throughout the day. And then not skipping meals. That's not something that I intentionally do, but there's times where I'm not eating breakfast and I'm not eating until like 1 o'clock in the day, and I'm the type of person that does need to eat, because if I don't, I get really hangry and I'm mean to the people around me, and I don't like being mean to the people around me. So just feeding myself, taking care of my body, and then hydrating a lot. I struggle with drinking water, and I've just kind of like had some health issues come up where my doctor is just really needing me to drink a lot of water. So being able to stay on top of that, hydrate my body, and again, to like just taking care of it. And then I guess the next is just kind of like an end, not so much as like a goal, but like skincare, like taking care of my skin as well as my hair and all of those fun little things, and overall just like my physical health. So then these next few goals that I have are ones that I just wasn't sure which category to kind of put them in, but things that I just want to really challenge myself with and do in 2024. And the first one of those is just to be intentional with my friendships and relationships that I have with people. I think that's one thing that I can sometimes struggle with, and I really want to be intentional with my friendships, whether that's texting people, calling my friends, getting together for like a little coffee date, or going shopping, or like that type of stuff. Or maybe that's like sleepovers, just being able to have like conversations with my friends, and be intentional with spending time with them. 2023 was a year where I was making new friends, another year of like friendships that I've already had, being more intentional with pouring into those, rekindling some old friendships. I really just kind of want to be more intentional going into 2024, and having a good circle of friends that sharpen me in my relationship with the Lord, that are just fun to be around, and fill just like my love tank, and I can fill theirs as well. So that's just one thing that I want to be intentional with, is just my friendships with people. And then I am graduating this year, I'm going to college, so making new friends, being bold to make new friends. I know that's something that's definitely scary for me. It's scary for a lot of people as well, so being bold to make new friends and just being myself, not feeling like I have to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, because I've struggled with that as well. Finding people that are my people, and again, like being intentional with the friendships that I have, the ones I'm gonna make, and all of that. The next one is just to not care so much about what people think about me, and not always looking to please people. Just being the most authentic version of myself, and not feeling like I have to change for everybody. I know that's something that I struggle with a lot, and I look for validation from other people and look for my identity in other people, where like my identity should be in Jesus alone, and letting him be the only one that can define who I am. This goal is just something that I want to carry into like through all of the years of my life, is just letting Jesus define who I am, and letting my identity and my purpose solely be in him, and just not care about what people think, only what Jesus does. And so that's one thing that I want to challenge myself with. The next one is something that I always have just struggled with, and that's being okay with learning how to do things that I don't know how to do, and not always telling myself that because I don't know something, I'm just like, I can't do it. I want to learn how to be more independent this year. Again, like, I'm going off to college, I'm gonna have to learn how to do things on my own, but just having the mindset of being like, okay, I don't know how to do this, I'm gonna learn how to do this, and it's not gonna be perfect. I'm probably gonna mess up with learning how to do something. Like, I can't expect myself to be a pro at something that like I don't know how to do. So just learning how to be okay with doing new things. Obviously, like, it's okay to ask for help. Like, if there's things that you don't know how to do, ask for help, that's okay. But also challenging myself with using some problem solving skills, and improving my problem solving skills. So that's just kind of like a little random one. These last two are just kind of some fun things that I want to do, and that's vlogging more consistently, posting more consistently on YouTube. I love being able to edit. There's times where I'm crying at like midnight because my video is deleted or things have gotten lost or that type of thing, but really I genuinely love being able to create, and it's been an outlet where I can just get things out of my head and put them in a video and just create, and I feel like it's definitely challenged me to have more of an imagination when it comes to creating, and that's something that I want to do more, is just post consistently on YouTube. And I'm going to college, so being able to vlog college and document that, not only for myself but also for like my family and friends that I won't be seeing that often anymore because I'll be in school, and you know, just kind of being able to document like college life and all that type of stuff, and going into adulthood, just documenting life, that type of thing. So being more consistent with YouTube. And then my next one is reading 35 books this year. I reached my goal of reading 25, and I think once I hit that, it's just kind of like reading was slowing down. So I ended at my goal. I was really hoping to maybe get like 1 or 2 more books in, but you know, I'm happy that I reached it. That's the first time I've ever read 25 books in a year. So being able to read 35 this year, just kind of adding 10 more books, I feel like that's definitely an attainable goal. So those are my goals for 2024. Those are my ends for 2024. I just really wanted to kind of sit down and make a video and get it out there so that I can look back and watch this, and I can read what I wrote, and constantly be reminded about what my goals for 2024 are, and also letting it just be a year centered around Jesus, learning how to do new things, friendships and things that are so important to me, and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping that it's not super long. I know that not everyone wants to just sit down and watch me talk, but I feel like this video is really just kind of more for myself, and I thought I would share. Maybe you guys have some similar goals. Maybe some of these might be goals that you want to have this year. I encourage you to write them down, get them on paper, and you know, do your best to kind of work at them, make them ones that you can reach and that you can do. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, you should totally subscribe because I'm hoping to put new content out. And I know I say that every single time, and it goes like months where I'm not posting, but really truly I do want to do this and post more consistently because I love doing YouTube. And it's really just something fun and a creative hobby of mine. So yeah, subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment a fun goal that you have for 2024, something that you want to challenge yourself with. I'd love to read those and just kind of see what you guys have written down for yourselves. So yeah, I love you guys. I hope to see you soon in the next video, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, a blessed day. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.